guys, welcome back to another video. Great updates here. So first we are dumping our tanks here because we completely ran out of water last night. Now I'm not entirely convinced that we actually ran out. I think we were kind of tilted, so all the water was sort of in one of the corners. But hey, we're here, Bogachil State Park, between the Ho-Oxbow Campground and Forks has a dump station. It's $5, not too bad. Quick and easy. So we'll go ahead, and they also have a fill, so that's great. And we are gonna head east on the Olympic Peninsula. So we're over on this side of the peninsula. We're gonna go up over past Port Angeles. Am I mistaken? There's not a whole lot to see in Port Angeles, right? We never really stop.
No.
Maybe feel like
we go to Port Townsend instead.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to one of the kind of nicer little spots there. Oh, and huge update. So this is our first drive with the trailer hitched up. And Highway 101 through here, you're gonna get some porpoising. The porpoising is slightly reduced. I mean, noticeably, but slightly reduced. So we still have a little suspension work. We need to firm up that rear end. The knocking, the clinking, all of that is completely gone. Am I wrong?
No, it's much better.
100%. So I loosened a couple of the bolts, made sure everything was super solid in terms of the hitch ball to the shank. Got that solid on there. The shank, you can feel a slight bit of motion when it's really bad, but this is exactly the way. I could not recommend that fix any better. And so for most folks, I would be willing to bet you could fix that for $12, you know, with these little plastic deals. You can use whatever, like shims and, you know, anything else you want too, but this way, the plastic also dampens a lot of the noise. It's not metal on metal. So $12 though, it's kind of hard to beat. We had the anti-rattle where you lock it down, the hitch silencer deal. Not a huge fan of that myself. Would not recommend, and I feel like we need to get back in there now with paint and touch that up. So it also just didn't work, and it kind of makes sense why it wouldn't work, right? It's really not solving your problem, it's just tightening it down. So two little bolts, U-bolt's not gonna do a whole lot of much, but no, huge fan. So again, 12, 13, 14 bucks if you don't have Prime, and it literally just, they stick on. And you might also notice we added, just to try to firm it up a little bit more for that left and right, we added some of the little cans. Just cut those up with scissors and stuck them in there. I don't know if that helps or not, but it definitely doesn't hurt. So let's get water real quick. This is kind of an interesting water fill deal. So you can, if you push the deal up, it'll just dump. And if you pull it down, it doesn't completely stop. I think it needs a little work. Maybe had some freezing issues, but there we are. This is your favorite part.
Yep, this is my job.
For whatever reason, Emma prefers to deal with fresh water rather than gray and black water.
I wonder why.
Huh. Anyways, we should be getting pretty good solar today. One will hope. And I gotta say, I'm very proud of our setup here. I don't think the bifacial was necessary, but I'm pretty proud of our setup. Though, I probably could have gone with silver. Would have been fun, either way.
I like the black panels better.
I don't think it looks that bad. You do like the black panels better? Yeah. I think they look pretty neat on the truck. I do think though that we could take some black tape, maybe even black duct tape, and redo all of the silver. We can just go over the silver. That might look a little better. I don't know, whatever. Or white. I guess we could do white. I think black would be the best. But anyways, golly, it's a beautiful day. Yesterday it wasn't actually that terrible overall, but it was a little drizzly. There's all sorts of information here, but yeah, Forks Twilight map, that's hilarious. Here at the state park. Yeah, we'll see where we end up today, and then we don't stay at the state parks typically. Usually we go find somewhere near a city, so I don't know where we're gonna head to, but out of here, I think this is the longest we've ever spent here. It is beautiful. Very nice. this is our home for the evening, or at least our parking space. So we've got, there's a one trailer down there hooked to an F-150. It looks like it's a, what is that, micro light?
Yeah.
Huh, it looks like they have some solar, actually, and well, an Itascus surveyor, right? Surveyor. Wow, I cannot see very well today. And then there's us. And so if you want hookups, they do
$15 a night.
Yeah, it's not terrible. We don't need it. We are already up to 52% state of charge, and we are kind of angled against the sun here, but
I bet we'll be able to about like 70 by the end of the day.
We can hope so. And then once that's the case, we'll go ahead and we'll switch everything over to electric only, like the fridge at least.
Yeah.
Maybe not the water heater, but yeah, we will. So in order to get these guys hooked up, we also need to have the charge controller first. And so we have a replacement charge controller sitting at the post office waiting for us there. So we'll make a swing through. We also need to, I think ultimately, I don't think we talked about this. Ultimately what we're going to do, and we'll show how this is done. We need to move everything close. So we're going to reorganize the battery a little bit. The whole array it's like, I don't know. We can make it a little tiny bit more efficient. And then we'll put one charge controller, a slightly larger one, on one side of the batteries, and then on kind of a kitty corner to that, we'll have another charge controller that will take the power from these panels all the way back. And we already have the wires run inside, so just running them outside, terminating them.
So not only are we adding a charge controller for the solar for the truck, we're upgrading the charge controller that already exists for the panels from the roof and the external port here, so that we can get all of the solar off of the roof and external solar from the port. Right,
because right now, unfortunately, the unit that we have will take up to 50 amps, which these can put out more than 50 amps of 12 volt power. So this 800 watts plus who knows what else we could. It would probably get even higher than that, probably, I'd say at least a full 800, if not more.
Yeah.
So right now we're wasting at least 100 watts, potentially, right? And we have that solar port here. And you guys saw that when we first hooked up, we just like leaned the solar panels against the truck over here. Well, if we upgrade the charge controller, we can also use that because those just tie into parallel. Unfortunately, that could bring the whole array down, but I don't think it would be by that much, if anything. And it may very well be one of those things that it'd be really good in the afternoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, we'll see. It's all an experiment, but if we upgrade the charge controller, we can do that. Victron, we may be able to just fix the one we have, so having two would be great.
Yeah.
We'll see, I don't know. So yes, all that is great. We need to build that platform. We'll do that probably not within the week.
No.
Probably not. We'll see. If we have a day or two extra, then
I think other stuff we have to get done first, like getting the other panels mounted and things like that.
We sure do, yeah. Yep, and we need somewhere to cut the plywood that's not like, it's gonna piss people off, so. Yeah, we do have our solar panels though. More on all of this soon, but this project is, believe it or not, this project is coming along. Yes, also if you're wondering why does it look so insane, the bike is just fine. This was the safest way for everything. Nothing's actually poking into anything. Just looks like chaos. I don't think we've ever had so much crap in our beds, in the bed of our trucks.
No.
It's kind of funny how that.
I think it'll be fine though.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody had asked actually, can we get a bike in there? Yeah. Can you stand it all the way up?
You can't stand it up, but if you put it on its kickstand where it tilts over a tiny bit, you can.
Yeah. And the issue comes in these bars right here. So I didn't love the folding bars on the electrics. Actually, this is a perfect deal for that. The handlebars will actually, and the displays will actually strike up here. So you have to put the bikes at an angle. Not an issue. I mean, this would have been, if it was a camper shell or whatever, that'd be the exact same thing. So it's not something we're really worried about, And the reality is the only reason this is on here is because we need a new bike rack, and bike racks are an expense that we're not going to shell out for right now.
No, nor do we really need to right now.
No, not right
So the current bike rack we have, one of the slots is broken, one of the bars is broken. The other one is not, but we only have one bike right now.
Yeah.
So technically the bike rack that we have still will work for us until we have a second bike.
Maybe. We'll see. It might not, because we trimmed them down. So we trimmed them.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll make it all work one way or another, though. And we also need to transport my sister's bikes down as well.
And Zoe's.
And oh yeah, and Zoe's. So, that's all right. It's all right. Yeah, we got all that coming up soon. It's a lovely day.
It was a lovely day.
Lovely day. So I think we're just gonna veg out. I'm tired for some reason. We did do some shopping. It's amazing, $200 something in for food. It doesn't feel like we have that much.
The freezer's full. The fridge is pretty full. Feels like we actually did get a pretty good amount of stuff.
Meat is expensive, go figure. Yeah, expensive stuff. But anybody else go to Costco and like you can't walk out for under $150, $100.
And those dang samples they'd be getting us.
Those samples are very good, and sometimes you're like, that'll be fine, whatever, and then you try the sample and you're like, maybe we need that. There goes $11. You know what I mean?
Well, we walked by that. Joel didn't see, but I definitely saw it. I know if he would have seen it, he would have stopped and bought it. It was the mango Dole Whips.
Oh, the Dole Whips, yeah. Well, it's funny because they're like, yeah, you only get these at Disneyland, which is very much untrue, very untrue, but that does make them sound cooler.
I do want to try to make our own Dole Whip this summer.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can do something like that. Also, just an update on the solar panels up here. How are they mounted? You know, we've driven in all sorts of conditions, rain, shine, twisting and all that, you know, as much as this bed is going to twist, which is not much. They've been vibrating, and we've checked each one of them, tried lifting them up and all that, you know. They're not moving, they're not making noise, and the holes, my concern was is the hole gonna extend or anything like that on any of these? No evidence of that.
Looks fine to me.
Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot.
So next up is we have to do some grinding to be able to get these two other panels up here, and then we have to go buy U-bolts.
Well, we need to grind this guy actually, this frame. So yeah, not something I'm hugely looking for. I don't want to damage any paint. But once we do that and we grind the L brackets.
Well, really, so what we have to grind on this frame is actually these two, this one on this side and one on the other side.
Yep, those two.
These little pegs off.
Yeah, that and then so the L brackets also, we have L brackets now, super, what, $1.50, $2 or something like that, and they're decent steel, they don't bend, but they're too big, they're too long.
Yeah, we don't have to do that on the truck though, which is nice, so you can walk away from the truck with those.
No, I do think we need to go get like the big pliers though. I don't want to put my hands, it's pretty close to the grinder, We'll see. Anyways, lots of projects coming up. This is just a little brain purge right now. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Oh, and if it wasn't already obvious, this is the Seven Cedars Casino in Sequim, Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.